I also don't blame people because we've never experienced anything like this really before.
Agree.
So it's not a blame game thing. What do you think? I mean, what do you think happens next?
I have no idea. I don't know if this thing's going to die down. It's going to go away. If you start listening to experts, but all the experts are all people that write books like The Deadliest Virus is Coming.
Yeah.
This guy's like a New York Times best-selling author, right? So guys like that are saying this thing's going to last for 6 months, which is interesting. So it got me in the spirit of the NCAA tournament. 30 teams, single elimination, winner take all. That's what we should do. Just line them all up. Give some people buys, and then next thing you know, just lace them up and see, let's say that's in July or that's in August or something like that. It'd be interesting to get somehow to crown a champion this year. But my guess is, and my gut is telling me, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
Brian, what was the closest thing you had during your playing days to any sort of event like this? Was it like a MRSA outbreak, like in a locker room, anything close to this?
Yeah, MRSA. I remember Paul Pierce got a MRSA infection, and everyone was freaking out. We all had to get tested. They were coming in, and they were cleaning the locker room with all these spray guns and hazmat suits and stuff like that. But nothing like this, because obviously that's not a worldwide pandemic. This is like in your locker room, and a guy got cut, and he got an infection. And so I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like that. But I don't know if, like, our generation, which I was born in 1978, and I don't know, any of these young guys, I don't think any of them have experienced anything like this.
No, then it's hard to understand that nobody on the team could have it, and you jump on a plane that maybe has some germs, and you pick it up that way.
Well, I will say this. To think that Rudy Gobert is the only guy in the NBA to have it, that's nuts. If you look at basketball and the context, and what's funny, so I'm at games, right, and we got this mandate to stay 6 to 8 feet away from coaches. So it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's like we're trying to protect the players, whatever it is, right? But then you start watching, and you start seeing interaction. You start seeing the basketballs being passed from the ball boys, and like, okay, what? Then you start seeing the players go out there, and they do their thing before the game. They go off the court, and, there's a 5-on-5 AAU game right before they go back on. And then you read, and this thing is supposed to stick around on the surface for 9 days. And then you look around and you look at the arenas, and they're full of people. You're just, once again, it was as apparent to me every day I went to a game that this is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
How old are your kids?
12, 10, and 6.
And they still all have school right now? Because we're in D.C., and some of the counties have closed schools, but some haven't. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. So interesting theory on that, right? The kids have not been affected as of yet, but the question right now is, and I was listening to a podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, the other day, and he was, the guy that was on there was like,
Don't scare us now.
No, but he brought up a good point. Like, what happens, like, if some of those moms that now have to stay home with their kids were nurses or doctors or this or that, and then we need as many medical professionals going to work as possible. I never thought of it anyway. I thought, hey, that's a good point, because once you start having canceled schools, and you start having, moms cancel work, and what does that lead to? So anyways, I just thought it was...
It's not an easy thing. It's complicated.
No, not at all.
There's no doubt. But it's a mixed message too, Brian, because they're telling us to wipe down hard surfaces. Don't touch doorknobs. Keep your social distance. And then we got kids on desks, sharing desks, bumping into each other in hallways, jumping into each other's arms. I mean, I love their enthusiasm for life and their naivety. I love it. And we need that. I need it. It's, when you come home from school and they're smiling, it's just, God, we all need that. But it's a mixed message.
Yeah. The best thing from everything I understand with this one is, make sure your diet is all locked in. Make sure you're taking your vitamin C, your vitamin D. Like, you want to just be as healthy as you possibly can during this time. Because it's like, you just look around and you see how this thing spreads, and you're like, you think you can control it, you can't. Like, I'm about to jump on a flight right now. I can't control all these things. I can only control my personal health. And that's like, for the message out there, just everyone, pass up on the fast food and eat more vegetables, and just do the best job you can of strengthening your immune system.
Yeah,